The Notorious Conor McGregor. He has yet to submit a sample for USADA to test, and the clock is ticking. If he wants to compete twice this year like he said, he'll have to submit a sample real soon. If he submits a sample now, he'll be able to compete in September by the looks of things, and then can potentially get a second bout in by year's end. But if he waits another month, another 2 months, he might not even compete until 2024, which is going to sort of put a wrench in those plans a little bit, and I'm not sure Michael Chandler's going to be too pleased sitting on the sidelines for the rest of the year. As we know, Michael Chandler likes to be really active, likes to be in there and amongst it quite frequently. So we'll just see how this thing plays out over the next several months. But Conor McGregor has come out and said he's not too concerned. As we know, Conor McGregor has managed to work around the USADA testing and went out of the USADA testing pool. And I don't even think Conor McGregor has denied at this point that he has been using substances that aren't permitted under the USADA testing pool. I mean, what other reason would you have for leaving the USADA testing pool? And I think this does have a lot to do with his injury that he suffered at the hands of Dustin Poirier. Because as we know, in that fight, he suffered a nasty leg break, a leg break that a lot of fighters don't even come back from. So I don't think anyone's surprised by the fact that Conor McGregor has done what he can to actually return. And look, I don't hold it against him. You know, as long as when he's competing, he doesn't have any performance enhancing drugs within his system, I don't see a problem with that. For situations like this, athletes should be able to do whatever they can to actually return to the octagon. And if that means that they have to leave the testing pool, do what they have to do to get healthy, I'm more than happy for them to do that. Now, tensions were a little bit flared on The Ultimate Fighter between him and Michael Chandler, but it does appear that that's settled down a little bit now. Conor McGregor said he does like Michael Chandler. He's a good guy. Tensions just got a little bit flared because Conor McGregor's friend was competing in the show, and tensions just got a little bit flared, but they sorted that out, and things are fine now. And Conor McGregor also said to those that are doubting him, to those that doubt that he can recreate that magic that he had in his career in 2016, he told them to keep dreaming, because when he comes back, he's going to create magic inside the octagon. And look, I want to believe that. I remember that run of 2016 from Conor McGregor was absolutely fantastic, but I just don't think he can recreate that magic. He's a lot older now, and although his skill has increased like he said it has, I don't think he's been able to keep up with the skill increases of the other competitors. So look, good luck to him. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't see it happening. And next up, we've got Francis Ngannou. Big news out of that. He did say a boxing fight is most likely next. It looks like that's going to either be Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. That is a no-brainer for him, and it's a no-brainer for Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury either. For Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, it's an almost certain win. Same as Francis Ngannou. He doesn't necessarily care about winning that fight. He's just there for the payday, and I mean, who can blame him? The window is very short for a fighter to make a lot of money, and I think Francis is just trying to make the most of this opportunity. In regards to his MMA career, it doesn't look like that's stopping at all, because from the horse's mouth, Francis Ngannou said he is in talks with the PFL and One Championship. Now, that is going to be absolutely huge for both of those organizations. Whichever one can actually sign Francis, it's going to make their company a lot bigger, and it's also going to give Francis a fair bit of money as well. I still don't necessarily think him leaving the UFC was the smartest decision, but look, he is a man of principles and he stuck to his guns, so I can kind of respect that as well. It'll be interesting to see what's next for Francis. Only time will actually tell if him leaving the UFC was a smart decision, and as it looks at the moment, it doesn't look like he's ever going to return to the UFC. His relationship with Dana White is strained, and he's very stubborn. I don't think Francis is going to change his mind on these terms that he was asking for his contract from the UFC, and I don't think the UFC is going to budge on it, so I just don't see him returning there. I hope his MMA career can continue at either the PFL or One Championship, but I mean, we'll see how free agency works out for him. It doesn't tend to work out too well for anyone that's left the UFC who's tried the whole free agency thing. Let's be honest, the UFC is the biggest cash cow, the biggest name within the business, and it doesn't seem to go well for a lot of fighters once they leave, so it'll be interesting to see if Francis can buck this trend. But that's it from me today, and if you like this sort of content, please feel free to hit subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.